Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. See, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man.
Hey everybody, King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom.
Let's get rid of that. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and welcome to a Friday afternoon show with Philly 500 as we get ready for training camp. We are coming on to training camp very, very quickly right now. Cannot wait for it to get here as these narratives, these arguments all over the internet about Jalen Hurts, about DeVonta Smith. I can't wait for it all to come to an end. But how's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Stoner, Moneyman, what's going on? T-Rompo, Rosie, Oscar, Mikey, Logan Motorsports, Prolific. What's going on? Filioso, my man, how are you? Tribe Called Quest celebrates 6 months of membership. Thank you so much, man, for your support. Let's go, Birds is right. Scraps, what's going on? Rogue, what's up? Leon Banks, my man. Oh, Tribe Called Quest. Shout out to Tribe Called Quest. Great supporter for a long time. Thank you for the generous donation. Really appreciate it. What up, 500? We here, bro. I appreciate that, man. It's been slow, So we've been doing stuff, just trying to put something out every other day or so. There's only so many times you can talk about the same thing over and over again. But we are probably going to talk a little bit about that stuff today because what else have we got? You know what I mean? D, what's going on? Casey, Philly Nation, Salem, what's up? David, YouTube Pump Life, David, Tortyville's here. What's going on? King, Philly Expert, thank you guys for being here. Anybody I missed, I apologize. DC for Life, what's going on? Dave, thank you for the super chat, my man. Season's almost here. I'm ready. I am ready too. It is going to be a crazy season, a busy season. I mean, we're going to be streaming just about every primetime game on Monday and Thursdays. We got, Tuesday games now? We got Friday games now. It's going to be crazy. I've been doing good, just trying to stay busy and those kind of things. A lot of family stuff been going on, so it kind of came at a good time because, being that it's July, it's given me a chance to kind of catch up, And Dave, thanks again for that super chat. Tribe Called Quest as well. Thank you so much. Go Birds. Yeah, that's right. Bryant says, let's go Eagles. Hell yeah. Yeah, ready to talk Birds. I know we're all anticipating training camp and excited to see how this new offense looks. Yeah, I think it's been kind of crazy with the narratives of this offense because it's like everybody's assuming that the Eagles are just going to say, you know what, we don't care what Jalen Hurts does well or what these guys do well. We're just going to implement this new offense, and we're not going to take into account any of their skill set. I don't know where this narrative comes from, but it's crazy. Of course, you're going to get a good coach, a decent coach. Any good coach is going to make the system work for the players around them and do what they do well. And I'm anticipating Jalen Hurts to have a big year. I thought it was very interesting. The little clip came out, yesterday? People were talking about where over the last few years, Jalen Hurts has been the most prolific deep ball passer in the NFL. He's been the best deep ball passer in the NFL. He had 38 completions over 50-something yards. Nobody was even close second. Now, you're going to tell me a guy that can be accurate in the deep ball can't throw a 3-yard pass? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm anticipating a big, big year for our boy Jalen Hurts. What's up, Chris Scott? 500 is wearing the Cooper DeJean touchdown photo shirt. I am. That's right. I also have that picture autographed by Coop hanging on my wall. That's a cool pic because it has a scoreboard, Chiefs players. Yeah, it's a cool picture. You got that, and you got it signed. That's awesome. That's very cool. Afredo says, Philly, I'm so ready for training camp. I'm dying for the new Eagles offense and Eagles ball. 29th needs to hurry. I tell you what. It's going to be crazy. So what we'll do is my schedule during training camp is basically we'll come on right after practice, go through the we'll be on during practice, I should say. So we come on live for practice, then we'll do an afternoon video or recap of kind of the day. So it's going to be very, very busy. And then look for the season, look for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday streams. Those will be back also. What up, Tiffany? How are you? Then they'll say, go get Mac Jones. I heard Sil say that. Get Mac Jones. I heard those guys talking, man. I love Xander. I love Cilio, but man, I just don't agree. I heard Xander say that the prevent offense had nothing to do with the fact that Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass for 2 games, right, in the second half. There were 2 games in the second half in which Jalen Hurts did not complete a ball, right? There was Tampa Bay game, and what was the other one? No, I think I have it here because I wanted to look up some stuff about it. It was the Bills. So it was the Bills game, and it was the Buccaneers game. Now, in the first half, Jalen threw. Let me see. In the first half versus the Bucs, he threw 50. He was 15 of 16 for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was the first half of the Bucs game. Then he did not throw a completion in the second half. Okay, but he threw it 16 times. Then, if you look at the Buffalo game, he was 13 of 20 for 110 yards and a touchdown. So he threw 20 attempts in the second half. Now, they're going to say, well, came out and he didn't complete a ball in the second half, and it had nothing to do with coaching. It had nothing to do with the prevent offense. But if you look at the amount of attempts he made in those second halves, that's the telling story. Jalen went 0 for 8 versus Tampa in the second half and 0 for 7. Now, when he made those throws, and then he went 0 for 7, 0 and 8, many of those came in third and long situations, passing downs where the defense knew what was happening. So those 2 situations where he didn't have a completion in the second half, those are directly related to the coaching staff and to what they were doing offensively. To only have your quarterback throw 8 times and 7 times and a half. As a matter of fact, I was trying to find quarterbacks in the league that threw 8 or less attempts and a half last year. I don't think there were that many. There were that many. So most of the times those guys throw 7, 8 times in a drive or 2. So the coaching staff, my point is, the coaching, I believe, was directly related to those 2 situations where he didn't have a completion in the second half because he was on fire in the first half. And if you get a consistent coach, like hopefully Mannion is, Jalen Hurts' statistics are going to go way up. Way up. It's just all bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. These narratives are all bullcrap. And they can be explained if you just go look at how the game was played. Ace goes, what up, Philly? What are your thoughts of Dak Prescott coming in before Jalen Hurts on the quarterback ranking? The quarterback ranking that they did where he was 6th, they said that one of the things they didn't do is they didn't compile really the resume. They looked at the year before and that was it. I think it's like it's a flawed it's a flawed list when you do that, because you take away Jalen Hurts' resume. You're taking away his strongest argument of why he should be on there. You take away resume, you take away Dallas's and Dak Prescott's weakest argument for him being on the list. So to me, it's a flawed list. It's a flawed list. Nick, thank you for the super chat, my man. Sub 500. Hope you're doing well. Go Birds. Thank you, my man. I'm doing very well. I appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing well as well. NFC East 3P coming, and they don't want to give Jalen or Nick the credit because they don't fit what they see winning. I know. I just wonder what they're going to say. What are they going to say when Jalen Hurts goes out and tears it up this year? Because I think he's going out there, and I think he's tearing it up. You know what I mean? I do. 1 minute, it's we got a Super Bowl team. The next second, AJ and Barkley, the only positions in the top 10. I know. It's so funny. They're ranked. We're always ranked guys, never top 3. Never. But we got the greatest team ever assembled. But, even if you want to say, well, the Eagles had a great team when Jalen won, I agree with that. And I agree that Saquon Barkley was the reason that I think he put us over the top. But Jalen Hurts and the Eagles were a Super Bowl team 2 years before that. They've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. I'm sorry. That's very, very hard to do. What up, Texas Eagle fan? How are you? I just hope that Mannion knows how to set up plays based on other play calls. Patullo had no clue how to do it. That's one of the big reasons why the offense sucked. It was. I mean, can you imagine? Jalen Hurts goes 15 of 16 in the first half versus Tampa. Doesn't throw a completion in the second half, but only has 8 attempts. Only 8 attempts. And when are those attempts coming? They're not coming with a 3-yard pass, a quick little out, a quick little slant, something easy he could do, a screen pass to the running back. They're usually coming on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, because Nick was playing the odds of 41-3. And that's how it was. And Nick took it to an extreme level that, in my opinion, blew up in their face at the end of the year. He played too conservative at the end of the year. Even if you look at the way he coached the last game, where you sit your players and you have a chance at a number 2 seed, and then Chicago loses. He went to an extreme, and I think that's really what hurt us. That and Patullo could not make a halftime, could not make an in-game adjustment. The one Christopher says, just want to see Jalen in the passing game do something. Please, otherwise I'm not paying $65 million per year to a guy that hands the ball off to rely on the defense. Well, I get it. I get why you would feel like that. My argument is I think you're going to see him do something. I think if you have a competent coach, I think you'll see him do something. And I actually think that Jalen has wanted to do a lot of the things they haven't done. It's just that Nick got caught up in this prevent offense. I really believe that's what it was. I believe Nick went into the game going, if we could get an early lead, then just don't turn over the ball and we win. And that's how he played. And he told Jalen, don't even throw the ball if there's a chance to get picked off. Don't even try to put it in a window, try to do anything. Don't worry about it. If somebody's not wide open, just throw it away. I think that's what they told him. They say Jalenites and they say Nickite. Get it right. We are Phillyites. That's right. Hey, Philly, are we getting excited? Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. I just can't wait for the season to begin. There's a lot of things to be excited about. Like, I'm excited about the new offense. I mean, just watching. Did you guys see the Barkley and Cooper DeJean, those guys all working out? Barkley looks like thinner than he did a year ago. Like, he looks like 15 pounds thinner. I know he's probably not, but he looked fast and quick, and I think Barkley has a real bounce-back year. I think Carter's going to have a big year. I can't wait to see what Jordan Davis does to continue his development. And then I think DeVonta Smith being able to be the number 1 guy is exciting to see. The offensive coordinator was garbage, and AJ was stopping on routes, dropping passes, sabotaging the team so he could leave. Yeah, it sure seems like AJ was a problem on the field like that. Like he just had the wrong attitude. It really felt like that. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up to the chat. I'm so far behind here. About a practice. The only thing I'm worried about is if Jalen struggles in his progressions and the defense coordinator from a team that runs the same offense peeps the game plan to take away the first 2 reads. Well, I mean, we're going to have to see. They're going to have an answer for that, and we'll see. I think Jalen will be fine. I do. And I would like to see Jalen use his legs a little more. Like if you're in a position like that where the first 2 reads are gone and you have an opportunity to run, take it. I have no problem with that. Use your legs in those situations. But I think competency of the coach and what we do is going to play a huge factor. If you just, it's so easy to say, well, a guy didn't complete a whole, 2 games where he didn't complete a pass. It's easy to knock it. But when you go and you look at what the situation is for it, you realize that he wasn't being helped or put in a good situation. I wish I could wake up tomorrow. It would be September 3rd. Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah, Barkley's been working out with DeGene. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He looks great. Philly Nick's philosophy to win the turnover battles is a detriment at this point, not an advantage. Well, I think he got carried away with it. Like, I think he began to take it to the extreme. Like, where it was like, you get a 10-point lead at halftime, and you're going into it. You get a 21-point lead before halftime versus Dallas, and you're going into it. You could see him going into it in the second quarter of that game when the Eagles were up 21-0. If you have Barkley and Bigsby on the field together, it makes it harder for the other team linebackers. They can't key on one running back. I think we will see Mannion use more 2 running back formations here and there. I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we see that. I'm also hoping we see a lot more screen passes. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Barkley's rushing totals come down, but his passing totals go up. So maybe he doesn't get 2,000, he's not going to get 2,000 yards on the ground, but maybe he can get close to it in total yardage. Quarterback 1 getting paid. I'm tired of y'all acting like before him we were winning like that with all the quarterbacks. He'd been throwing the ball all season, but couldn't win when it's time. Well, that's true. It's true. I mean, I personally think he's going to get paid. And I think he's going to go out there. I think he's going to play fantastic. I think a lot of people are going to say, yeah, you got to pay him. And I think he's going to earn it. Hurts is one of the most acute quarterbacks. I don't understand his completion percentage. It's good last year. Was down, so what? Well, I think people are knocking him for, those 2 games specifically where it's just like, the offense would shut down. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. You could come out and they could go up, come out, look good the first couple drives. Defense would adjust, and they would have no answers for about 4 quarters. And then maybe in the 4th quarter, they get that one drive to go in and win. How many games do we blow leads? Not even games that we lost, but just games in general, Watch this. Would you rather have 5 rings and they be old or 2 rings recently? Come on now, Eagle fans, tell us. I would rather have 2 rings that are recent. Because what's the point of 5 rings that you couldn't see? You know what I mean? Like how many Cowboy fans are 21, 22, 23 years old and never seen their team win a Super Bowl? Never saw 1 ring. But they watched the Eagles win 2. So you're going to tell me that they should be happy with the 5 that came before they were even born? No. I'd rather see my team win it. Mike says, Philly, question for you. Is Nick Sirianni on the hot seat for us this year? I don't think so. I don't think he is, because I think, with his record, and look, we could talk about Jalen Hurts, and we could talk about, he's a winner and he goes out and wins. But Nick has won a lot of games as coach. You can't just You can't just pass that up. I don't think Nick is the smartest coach. I don't think he's the greatest coach, but I think he does a good enough job managing the team that I don't think he would be on a hot seat. If they struggled this year, the only way I'll say that I think it happens, the only way would be is if they had a total collapse again. If they go out and they go like 9-1, 10-1, 8-2, and then they blow it again, I think he could be in trouble then. Because remember, we had the really bad, just complete collapse. We were 10-1 and we collapsed. Then last year, at one point, for most of the season, I think like the first 10 weeks, we were the number 1 seed last year. Do you realize that? We were like the number 1 seed, and we totally blew it. I think that Chicago game was the start of it. It was like almost like a mini collapse last year. I think one more collapse, and I think you could be in trouble. 500, check this out after the chat. Need to collaboration. Okay, I'll check it out afterwards. I can't click on it now, but I'll check it later. Yeah. Philly, what about the cornerback from Ole Miss or the guy from Kenya? Hopefully they make. Yeah, well, I want to see. What is that? You are Bernard. I want to see what he's going to do. I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, Barkley looks like he's in great shape. Now, if you remember last year, Barkley, he admitted that he didn't do a whole lot of work in the offseason just because his body was beat up. They thought rest would have been the most important thing. But I did think Barkley looked a little heavier last year. I won't say slow, but a little heavier. He looks like he dropped, I'm telling you, 15 pounds. He looks fast. Barkley's going to have a big year. I think Barkley's going to have a monster year. I really, really do. I want to see Campbell. I want to see Campbell in year 2 also. Hold on 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. Actually, you know what? Well, I got to do something real quick. My wife just came home. I need to talk to her. So give me 1 second, guys. With that, check out this sponsor. Prize Picks is America's #1 sportsbook app. It is the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really easy to use. Just pick a few players here or there, lock in your lineup guarantee, and boom, you're ready to go. And, this weekend, we've got the World Cup. The World Cup final is here. I know a lot of you guys are excited about it. So we are going to get our guarantee pick, and we are going to make a great play. We are going to take Lionel Messi with pass attempted. We could get it right now at a discount for a half. So we are going to do that. We also are going to take Harry Kane with 2.5 shots. We're going to have him take that. We're taking the over on both. And boom, we should lock that up in, and we'll see what happens in this World Cup final. And if you like this and you want to do something similar, go to the description, download the app, use promo code HMA, that's HMA, and your first $5 entry, you'll instantly get $50 in lineup. That's $50 in lineups on a $5 play. The link is in the description. Just use promo code HMA and enjoy this weekend World Cup. Shout out to the World Cup. Kick that ball, run. Kick that ball, run. I'm going to kick it. Oh, it's 1-0. Kick that ball, run. I can't stand soccer. I just can't get into it. I can't get into it. I do want to play because it's going on, but I just can't. I watch the game and I watch them run across this long field, and all I think is somebody pick up the ball and run. I can't do it. I can't do soccer, but I can bet it or play it. But anyways, my wife just came home. I just wanted to talk to her for a second. Cole Steele, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. Some people had no issues with Hurts' progression and reading defenses during a Super Bowl winning run. Now it's an issue. It's a double standard. It is. Here's my thing. Is like my point is they didn't do everything right. Hurts wasn't perfect last year, but the people act like he can't do it. Like he can't throw over the middle. He can't throw the short passing game. I don't believe that at all. I just believe they chose not to do it. And I think that they got caught up. The first, I think the Super Bowl run, Barkley had a magical year. It was like they realized what was happening with Barkley. You have to ride that. They did. Then they got caught up into this 41-3 when you win the turnover battles. And I believe that's what their focus became. And I think to an extreme level that hurt them. I do believe Jalen Hurts can make all those throws and play the way he needs to when given the opportunity. And I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. Matt, thank you for Super Chat. Feel you getting a quickie from the wife? Nah. What matrimonial duties are later tonight? Matrimonial duties must be done. I'm glad AJ and the offensive coordinator are gone. Tired of Jalen Sirianni disrespect. Rather have recent Super Bowl wins. I'm 54, and it was a blessing to see it. But Stacey, you're 54. You're like me. You remember the days where we didn't sniff a Super Bowl. You remember those days where it was like, you wait all this time. I remember waiting for the Eagles to get to the playoffs. I can't wait for the Eagles to get to the playoffs. I'm waiting. Finally, we're going to go to the playoffs. We play Chicago. You get the Fog Bowl. It was like always something crazy, and now we're in a situation where we got a quarterback that wins, and I'm supposed to get upset that people rank him 17. I'm like, go ahead, rank him 17. I don't care what you rank him. You can rank him a million. But if he can win Super Bowls, what do I care? But, yeah, it's crazy. Check the stats on the throws in the tight windows and over the middle. They're pretty good, I believe, right? I think I read somewhere that his over-the-middle throws percentage was, like, ridiculously high. So, yeah, I agree. Stop crying. Focus on the season. Hurts has got to improve himself. If he's a MVP, stop. Nobody said anything about MVP. I didn't say anything today about MVP. You can have a good year, be good, be effective, and win, and not be an MVP. Sorry, but some of these MVPs and these all-pro, they're all popularity contests. The guys that often should win it don't. So, that don't means nothing to me. All it means to me is, can you go out and you win the big game in the big moment? When the game's on the line and it's the biggest game of your career, can you go out and can you win? Are you capable of playing in those kind of games? Jalen Hurts has answered those questions already. Jacob, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. Eagles will be better than last year. KP's going. I agree. I totally agree with you. I think Patullo going is a huge benefit for the Eagles. And I do believe that there are certain coaches, maybe like Nick. I think there's some guys maybe not happy that Patullo left. But it had to be done. I think Carter will get his contract. I do too. I believe Carter gets his contract extension before week 1. The Hurts glazing is unwarranted. I don't know where you get Hurts glazing. Like, if anybody's not glazed, it's Jalen Hurts. I mean, what do you mean? Like, dude, there's nobody that is like trashed more than Jalen Hurts. It's crazy to me. People always think it's like, if you say a guy's a good player or a guy could play, that you're saying he's the greatest in the league. Nobody's ever said that. But you can't say a guy's a bad quarterback when a guy can win Super Bowls for you. I'm sorry. Our fan base grew crazy, especially after the Super Bowl win. We got crazy fans out west now and internationally. Oh, yeah. Philly, the next time you talk to Sills, ask him which top 10 quarterbacks led the NFL passer rating since 2022. Jalen Hurts is right up there with the best of them, and he's not 10. I'll try to remember that. I'm sure there'll be an excuse for it. It'll be like, well, why is he ranked 17 or something like that? They disrespected Smitty, leaving him out. Yeah, well, Smitty's the next one, you know? It's true. Donnie, what's going on, man? How are you? I think KP for Nick is like Press Taylor for Doug. Yeah, I think you might be right, Lucky. Because I don't think Nick was too happy about that, you know? I actually agree with you. I think you're right. And see, I think Nick liked those hires from within, because I think Nick could then have some control of the offense and what he wants to do. I think it's a little bit harder when you're getting offensive coordinators from outside the team. Pickens going to cook. We'll see. We'll see. If Sirianni could coach at all, he would have been able to overcome Kevin Patullo a little bit. He didn't because he can't. He's just like, I just think they really just got. I mean, if you go back and watch the what is that show called? The Hard Knocks, right? The in-season Hard Knocks with the NFC East. You watch what Nick talks about the meetings. All he talks about is the turnover battle. Got to win it. That's all he's talking about and preaching. I'm convinced that he went like a little like gagoots with that, like too much so. And Jacob, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, Mark Holmes says Cowboys are going to Super Bowl. Did he say that? He probably said it, and then they'll say he didn't. If these crying Arlington Cowboys, I like that. Shout out to Leo, wherever he's at. I haven't heard from him in a while. If these crying Arlington Cowboys things wouldn't be in the chat, they wouldn't have to glaze on Jalen. It's right. It's true. Let's see. Show your fans Hurts passing stats. Let them see why he ranked 20 by the NFL Philly. I mean, I think anybody could type in his statistics and see it. Everybody knows what that is. But why are you discounting postseason play? Because you have to be. Nobody ever said Jalen Hurts is Patrick Mahomes. Nobody ever said he had the arm talent of Josh Allen. What we said was that Jalen Hurts is a winning quarterback, a winner. He wins games, and he goes out there, and you know if you put a good team around him, he can win a Super Bowl. And when he goes up against the better quarterbacks in the league, he wins. And that's what he does. That's all we're saying. And to think that he can't play all of a sudden is ridiculous. It's funny because people, like, stats are such a bullshit stuff. Like, you get to play, you see this all the time, I talk about this. You get these quarterbacks, and during the regular season, they put up big numbers. They throw 40 times a game. They put huge numbers up. And then what happens? The playoffs start, and those teams that win, those quarterbacks throw about 20 to 25 times, maybe 20 to 30 at most if they're winning. The quarterbacks that throw the most are usually losing. So what happens is that quarterbacks around the league start to try to play more like Jalen Hurts than play like Josh Allen and put up huge numbers. That's the truth. So Jalen Hurts, what I'm saying, is playing playoff football all year long. All year long. And there's nothing wrong with that. Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, if you ask him, would you rather have stats or a ring guaranteed, he would say he would rather have a ring. I would think he would say that, yeah. You know? And he was great. I mean, he was great. But problem with Dan Marino, that time period, you didn't have free agency. So, like, a lot of times, like, if you needed a good running game, you're really stuck. You're really stuck for like 5 years, until you could draft somebody. You couldn't just go out in all season find yourself a great running back. It didn't work that way. Exactly 100. Cowboy fans talk crazy, but copy us. Even took our defensive back coach thinking they have Vic Fangio. It's true. And Mark Holmes says it every time I'm on Cilio's show. He wants Dak Prescott to have statistics more like Jalen Hurts than anybody else. He would rather, because Mark knows that That's what it takes to win. And he's right. He's not wrong. What do you think of the idea that Fangio putting his all in the Eagles defense because it's his last stop in the league? That's why they're so good now. Well, I think this is his last stop. How many years left will he coach? I don't know. He might. I think he has 2 years left. I think he's going to stay 2 more years. But yeah, I think there's some truth to it. You know, Pickens going to go to Jerry and be like, "Let me go because I want off this trash ass soft team." We'll see what Pickens does when he doesn't get his contract extension and he's not getting balls thrown his way because teams are doubling him up or trying to take him out, and it's opening it up maybe for CeeDee Lamb a little bit, and he's not getting his numbers and his contract is on the line. Then we'll see how he acts. We won 11 games with Patullo and AJ Sellon all season. Nick did a good job. Yeah, I think Nick does a good job when it involves like the things that a head coach does. I think where Nick gets in trouble, and I think that the weakness of Nick and what he's got to be better at is he wants to involve himself in the offense and control what they do. And I think when he does that and takes it out of the offensive coordinator's hands, I think that's where he gets in trouble. If he just gets away from that, and that's why I'm so glad that they got a coordinator from outside the organization. I think if he gets away from that and just does the things that he's good at as just being a head coach, I think he's fine. But he tries to interfere. That's my take on it. James says, $5, hope you're feeling, but yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good actually today. Thank you, man. I feel good. I'm a little restless. Like I'm ready for the season to get going. Like I just need the season to get here. It's crazy. It's not even football season and got you all talking about the Cowboys. We talk about everything that comes up in the chat. I always have Cowboy fans here, so it's naturally going to come up. It's not like we sit there and go, "Oh, we want to be like the Cowboys." Why would we want to be like a bunch of losers? They're a losing organization for the last 30 years. Nobody wants to be like them. WIP needs to be shut down. WIP is brutal, man. Downs being the whole Dallas defense. Yeah, I think Downs is going to be a good player. I think Downs is a good player. But see, I don't think Dallas is as good as everybody thinks they are. Like, I don't think that they've made as big of a jump as they think they've made. Like, I think I like their coach, defensive coordinator. I think he's going to be good. I think Caleb Downs is going to be good. But like Rashawn Gary, he was going to get cut anyways, and they got him, right? And gave up a third round pick for him. But they let Jadeveon Clowney go. Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, had a better year than Gary. So I still think they could legitimately need another pass rusher. I think they could use other linebackers. And I don't like their corners. So I still think Dallas' defense is pretty weak. Josh Allen is so elite, but cost his team the easiest pass Super Bowl last year. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a difference between being an elite player in the regular season and in the playoffs. Not every great player can win Super Bowls and can win in those situations. He had a clear path. Now, I will say this about Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen is the choker some people think, only because I remember that playoff game where he played. They were in overtime versus Kansas City in Kansas City, and he went tit for tat with Mahomes. And I think he left the field with the lead. And I felt like, man, he showed that he could play in a big game. But he hasn't been good since then. 500, which offense would you rather have, Sirianni or Tomlin's? Tomlin's. No, I mean Nick invented the prevent offense. That's a real thing. And that's a real problem. And anybody wants to say that it's all bullshit. Sorry, it's not. We know that they put him behind Mahomes at 15th. 15th, jeez. Josh so hard versus Jags, he did. I mean, look, every quarterback that hasn't won the big game yet that should, they've got the rest of their careers to do it. They got to prove it. Like Dak Prescott's got to prove he can win a big game. Cowboy fans are unbelievable because they don't hold their quarterback responsible, which is the most insane thing I've ever seen. We got a quarterback that's been to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and people are trying to run out of Philly. And the Cowboys got a guy that's won 2 playoff games in 11 years, and they act like he's God. We're not on the same level. Eagle fans and Cowboy fans are not on the same level. Eagles are about winning Super Bowls and championships. Dallas is about looking good. Chris versus the world. What is going on? Why do they act like Jalen is the only quarterback who has had a good team around him? Did they say that about Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brady had great defenses? Pretty much every Super Bowl winning team did. Yeah, every Super Bowl winning team has a good team around them. They do. You don't go to the Super Bowl if you don't have a good team around. There are a few quarterbacks that I think will make players better. But, in this league, during the playoffs, maybe Mahomes is the only guy. Otherwise, you need a really, really good team. And you need a good team around you. It doesn't matter if you're Jalen Hurts. Doesn't matter if you're Dak Prescott. Doesn't matter who you are. You have to have a good team around you. You just do. But how can Dak be elite? Is your definition of elite 2 playoff wins? What are we doing here? Do you care more about the yearly regular season statistics, or do you care about winning and doing something in big games when it matters? Because with Jalen Hurts, I can say his best 2 games of his career ever were the 2 Super Bowls he played. He was absolutely amazing. So to me, it's like I would rather have a guy that maybe doesn't have the biggest arm, maybe doesn't do all the things that everybody else does great, but when the game's on the line, when he's in the playoffs, when you need him, he's capable of winning. I don't think Dak Prescott is. Dak Prescott, if you put Prescott on the Eagles in 24, I do not believe he wins the Super Bowl. I do not think he wins the Super Bowl. No, people just just assume it, but I don't. I don't think he comes up big in those playoff games. I think he chokes. Aikman and Bradshaw did it, but they forever legends, just like Jalen will be for the Eagles. Agreed. Jalen gets one more. One more. It's over for all these arguments will cease to exist. You had a better team, not a better quarterback. Well, yeah, we did have a better team, but we had a quarterback that was better in the big moments. Because let's face it, Dak Prescott was a 1 seed before he lost. He was a 2 seed. He was actually the first starting quarterback to be a number 2 seed and lose. Okay? So he lost as a 2 seed. He lost as a 1 seed. I'm pretty sure he lost as a 3rd seed. He's had good teams before. He's had what? The 1 year they had a pretty good defense. I think he threw 37 touchdowns. He didn't do nothing with it. So to me, if you're gonna sit there and tell me Dak Prescott's better because he puts up regular season statistics, you could have that all day. Go enjoy it. But I'm gonna be talking about Super Bowls because my guy has gone to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. It's crazy they are quick to slander Jalen. Aikman was similar. Yeah, Aikman was a similar situation. Yeah. And here's the thing, the one thing I'll say about Aikman is that people put up his passing numbers. The game is different. They didn't pass nearly as much back then as they did today. So I don't know if that would have helped or not. If Dak was y'all's quarterback, you would have won them. But I don't think so. I don't know, what makes you think that Dak would have won? What has Dak showed you in his career in the playoffs that you could ever say that. He's literally showed you nothing in the playoffs. You realize that when Dak has played in the playoffs, he hasn't had good games. He had one good game versus Tampa, maybe one early in his career. That's it. He's done nothing. The guy has 2 play. Jaden Daniels tied Dak's playoff record in his rookie year. There's no proof and no evidence that Dak could ever win a Super Bowl with the Eagles. We don't know that Dak can win those kind of games. There are quarterbacks out there that just don't come up big in those situations. Dak, I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, in all seriousness, if you're a Cowboys fan, aren't you saying my quarterback's got to prove that he can win the big game? Like, isn't that something that the Cowboy fans talk about? Because that's what the Eagle fans would talk about. I mean, Dak has looked bad. In some of those playoff games, he's looked lost. Like, totally lost in games. That Green Bay game, he looked lost. Remember him and CeeDee Lamb start fighting. Like he stunk. When someone chokes in a restaurant, they do the Heimlich Dak maneuver. Yeah. It's what they do, man. It's so true. Let's see here. Philly D, thank you for super chat. I don't think I saw this earlier. He said, Jalen didn't get hurt. He wins MVP in 22. Be a sure thing Hall of Fame court. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. If he don't get hurt, he probably does win that MVP. Brian Pumper, man, where you been? Thank you for super chat. 500 in Brian Pumper's book. The 2 Super Bowls cancel out. One won and costed us 1. Starting with scratch and don't give kudos, sir. How I don't see how he cost us. Well, I guess you're gonna say the play he fumbled the ball, it cost us the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'll say this. The reason why I don't go with that narrative is because he did that in the first half, and we were at halftime. We think we had a 10-point lead. So we were, even after that play where he fumbled the ball, we were up 10 points in halftime. We were still up 10 points. You should never have blown that game. But I understand how somebody can see that. But, you were still up 10 points after that play. Yeah, I don't agree with it. If that happened in the second half and it gave up the lead or something, I would see it. But man, we were up 10 points at halftime after that play. Why? At that point, you're up 10. How you can't blow that game? Bradbury sold that bull. Yeah, that was a bad call. Come on, don't you think that was a bad call? Like if they don't call that penalty, the Chiefs kicked the field goal, and the Eagles have plenty of time on the clock. Everybody knows Jalen Hurts going down there. You could feel it. The Chiefs defense was tired. Eagles are going to fall flat on their faces this season. You all will be calling over a rebuild by midseason and blaming your lineman and overrated piece of crap you'll call. Okay. All right, we will see. We will see. Big Dom, thank you for the super chat. Pumper, did you forget the face mask on the fumble? Yeah, there was a face mask that they did not call. That's true. We was driving Philly. We could have went up 13 or 17. That's a game ender. Yeah, but even still, though, you were up 10 at halftime. Like I get why you're saying it. I understand the perspective. But to me, like, once I get to halftime and I'm up 10, like, you got to put that behind you. You're up 10 points. Whatever you do from that point in the second half forward, that play doesn't have anything to do with the second half. You're up 10. So I don't know. I don't know. Big Dom, thank you for the super chat again, man. I appreciate that. Eagles might win 6 games this year. Yeah, I don't think so. Use bogus paint to take away our historic pass rush. Yeah, they were slipping and sliding that game. Wasn't a bad call. He held the dude, but he should have refs been more relaxed on the call. I just think that if you look at that game, there were several plays by both teams that were kind of where you could have called stuff, and they weren't calling it. And that's what pisses me off, where you're playing, you're letting the guys play, you're not calling the play, the hold, and then all of a sudden you call it. Well, you didn't call it for the whole second half on either team. So, now you're going to call it. Just keep it consistent. That's my bigger issue. Hurts going to prove everybody wrong. I'm not tripping about our quarterback. Dude had a different offensive coordinator every season. All we need is average play calling and any better, just a bonus. Then we'll be back. I agree. I agree with you. I think Hurts is going to have a great season, but I also think that offensive line, it sounds like Cam Jurgens and Dickerson, from what they're saying, haven't felt this good in a long time. So that's really good. And then I think Barkley looks spectacular right now. And if that run game gets going, then Jalen's going to be just fine. Dak's going to make you all cry. We'll see. I hear it every year. Dak's going to make us do this and that. But at the end of the day, Dak, the only person Dak makes cry are Cowboy fans. And he makes you cry, and then you blame everybody else. Brian Pupper, thank you for Super Chat. Until Jalen Hurts wins a big game, he's a bust in my book. Jalen Hurts needs to prove me wrong. He has work to do. Pumper, he already won the big game. What are you talking about? He won the big game. He already did it. Where were you in 24? You didn't see that performance? Come on. And you're going to tell me the defense won that game, not Jalen. Look, Jalen was the MVP of that game, and I thought it was well-deserved. Redstone says 500. What's the over-under on the number of games played before the Glazers blame a new offensive coordinator for Hurts' trash play? It'll take 4 weeks. It'll take 4 weeks. People will be flipping out probably after week 1. But I'll say 4 weeks. Cowboy fans always talk about how great they are going to be next season. It's always next year. Yeah, I know. They're always happy, and they're always very cocky in March and April and May and June. July, they start getting a little nervous. August gets there, they see what they got, and they know they're in trouble. But they keep going with it, and then boom, you know what happens. What up, Rico? That was on the defense and special teams in that Super Bowl. Defense was great. Special teams was great. So was Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was great in that game. Great. Unless you can give the whole MVP to the whole defensive unit, I wouldn't have given it to them. I would have only given it to Hurts. Much love, Philly, in the chat, but Mark Holmes is your daddy. Yeah, I don't think so. Much love to you, but that ain't true. Kev, thank you for Super Chat. Brian Pumper just got out of a 3-year coma. Yeah, he forgot we played. Brian Pumper, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, defense was the MVP. Hell, Reed and Boogeyman Patty from crossing the 50-yard line until the fourth quarter. Show some respect. Look, I get what the defense did. I totally get it. But you can't tell me that Jalen Hurts did not play good in that game. That was a good Chiefs defense. And look at the numbers he put up. Look how he moved the ball. You're going to tell me that Jalen Hurts didn't play good? The problem is, in an MVP, they're not going to give it to a unit. They're not going to give the MVP to a whole defense. If you want to say that they should have, okay. But that's not how it works. And I don't think Josh Sweat should have gotten the MVP. I don't. So, of course, you're going to give it to most likely a quarterback. That's the way it goes. You know, quarterbacks, they get all the praise when you win a Super Bowl, and they get all the all the backlash when you don't. But if you want to say Jalen Hurts has to prove that he can win a Super Bowl, he already did. He won. He won one. The Eagles tight end room. I'm excited, Master Eagle, about the tight end room. Like I think the tight end room is going to be exciting. I want to see what the young kid does. That's for sure. I think Goedert. I mean, Goedert's been getting better and better, even though he's older. It'd be nice if he could actually stay healthy. But no, I think the tight ends are going to be pretty good. And we got 351 people in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. What Super Bowl defense won a Super Bowl MVP? No, I don't think any has, right? I'm trying to think. I mean, you've had defensive players win MVP before, but you had never had a team unit. And in that game, I don't think there was anybody that you could have given the MVP to on defense. Even like Josh Sweat. Like, the only way it would have worked is if you gave it to the whole defense, which they're not going to do. So that to me leaves Jalen Hurts, and I think at that point Jalen Hurts deserved the MVP. Jacob, thank you for the super chat. Can you do a Giants record and Commander? Yeah, I'll do a prediction record once we get close, like during camp and stuff. I'll do it. I'll do one for each of the NFC East teams. Hurts also broke his own rushing record by a quarterback because Saquon was a no-show. Plus, Hurts carved them up. He did. I mean, if we're gonna go down the lines that now you can win a Super Bowl and still have not won a Super Bowl, then we got to go back and look at a lot of quarterbacks, right? I mean, Peyton Manning may not deserve to be a Super Bowl winner. How many can we take away from Brady? I mean, why not? I mean, you look at the Patriots, those early Patriot teams with Brady early in his career, those were all defensive-driven wins. But you don't do that. We don't do that with any other quarterback. Why are we going to do that with Jalen? Bashing Jalen is making the money in the media nowadays. People love to be on that bandwagon. It just shows you how relevant the Eagles are. Like it shows you how relevant, right? Like, everybody wants to talk about us. They want to talk about Jalen. They want to talk about the AJ thing. They want to talk about DeVonta. They want to talk about us, right? The 49er fans hate us. Viking fans hate us. Cowboy fans, of course, they hate us. All these teams, the Chiefs fans hate us. We're hated because we're relevant. And that's what Cowboy fans, I think, can't deal with. They used to be the team that was relevant. Now, they're like they're the Dallas Browns. The Dallas Browns is what they are. They're not relevant anymore. So we're comparing the situation. I'm not comparing them as a quarterback. I'm comparing the situation. The situation is, if you look at early career of Tom Brady, a lot of those Super Bowls were defense driven. So, if you're going to say that Jalen Hurts doesn't deserve to be credited with a Super Bowl win, then you take 3 Super Bowls away from Tom Brady? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that your argument doesn't hold water. We had a bag over Dallas fans' heads in the chat wearing you out here. Goes heads pumper. Yep, to the rescue, right? If the O-line goes their job and stays healthy, the team will be fine. And especially, I agree. Agreed. Yeah, that's the key. The offensive line is the key. If that line is good, what it was 2 years ago, everything will fall into place. No, I'm not comparing resumes. I'm comparing situations. It's different. It's a totally different thing. And you know it is. You know what I'm talking about, Pumper. You know I'm not comparing Jalen Hurts to Tom Brady in resume. I'm comparing the situation of how Brady won some of his early Super Bowls and what you're saying about Jalen Hurts. What I'm really comparing is your argument doesn't hold water. What starting quarterback right now can they say have won 2 NFC championship playoffs every year and Super Bowl win? None. Only Jalen. Jalen's the only one. Right? I mean, how many active quarterbacks have actually won Super Bowls? How many active quarterbacks have been to 2 Super Bowls? That's an interesting. So how many starting quarterbacks have been to 2 Super Bowls? Mahomes and Hurts. I don't think anybody else. Stafford's been to 1. Yeah, only 2. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to go to 2 Super Bowls. People just don't understand. Kev, thank you for super chat. I had Cooper DeJean for MVP in like 2024 Super Bowl. 20 to win, 4,000. Oh my gosh. When he returned that touchdown, I almost had to seek medical assistance. I'll be honest with you. If I was going to give this MVP to anybody, it would have been him. I would have given it to him for that pick 6. Because that pick 6, you knew right there the game was over. Like when he gets that pick 6, it's over. You knew the game was over at that point. I think we all knew it at that point. The game was over. And so, yeah, if anybody deserved it, you have the best claim at that. "52 years waiting on the Eagles coming. Just wait." Man, we had to wait a long time. Back to later. Get out of town. Get out of here. Smackdown Jalenites. Come on, Pumper. The dagger was great play, too. Yeah, that was awesome. I heard them talking on Cilio's show about building a statue. Like, if you're going to build a statue of the Super Bowl, that dagger's got to be it. It's got to be of DeVonta Smith catching the dagger, in my opinion. What do you want? We want to say hi? Say hi. See what's going on. Hello. Yeah. 500, if we get safety Delpit, then I hope Coop stays in the slot, then get Crosby at some point. Agreed. And I think Delpit's the guy to watch because I think that in camp, depending upon how the safety situation plays out, I think the Eagles will make a move. Pretty much every year, the Eagles make a trade during training camp. It happens. So what position do we think it's going to happen? Most likely it's going to be safety. Coop is going to cook the NFL this year. Oh, he's going to have a monster year. I think Coop and Q are going to be crazy good this year. I think they have monster years. I also think Jalen Carter is going to have a monster year. I really do. I'm expecting big things of him. Yeah, some people think Sweaty might be back. I don't know. I don't know what the situation with the Cardinals are. I saw the one hypothetical trade where they had Josh Sweat for Jalen Carter straight up or something like that, which was ridiculous. But Jeff, you could be right about that. "52 years to wait, and we are here now. 30 years since the last is way worse." It is, especially when you had to live all 30 of those years. I mean, there are literally how many Cowboy fans have never seen their team in the NFC Championship game? They have never seen their team in one big game. Not one. And you have Eagle fans that have literally watched their team play in 3 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls and won 2. Guess which quarterback has the most deep passing touchdowns since 2020? Hurts with 37. And it's not close, Chris. Not close. Now, we're supposed to say that this guy can throw the deep ball all over the field. The most prolific deep ball thrower in the NFL the last 5 years. However, we can't expect him to make short passes. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, it's not even funny. Coop scouting Netflix quarterbacks? Is he really? Is that what he said? I haven't watched that quarterback show yet. I've been watching wrestling. I'm going to start a wrestling channel. Dallas fans always look like they're about to sneeze. They're gonna look like that a lot this year. You're all sleeping on Project 89. Tell me about Project 89. Are we talking about Johnny Wilson? I don't know. Coming off injury, I don't know what to expect from him. I do want to see Darius Cooper though. Like I think Darius Cooper could come in and surprise a lot of people. Let me see here. Well, Philly, for those of us who did watch the Cowboys win Super Bowls, we can shit on the Eagles all we want. I watched my team win, not just play, but win 3 Super Bowl titles. Y'all can't ever say that. Well, not yet. But you're only one up on us. You realize that, right? You've seen your team win 3. I see my team win 2. So when we win it this year, what are you going to say? Then what do you say? 500, I can't wait to see Smitty be our wide receiver 1. He deserves this opportunity to possibly elevate even after already doing so much for us. Excited for Lemon, 2 tight end sets, and B&B back on the field. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think DeVonta Smith's going to have such a big year. I think he's going to shock a lot of people around the league. He ain't going to shock the Eagle fans because we know what he is. But yeah, I think he's going to shock a lot of people. Jojo, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you so much. Didn't say anything, but thank you. I see Philly D's in here. I don't see where they're writing anything, but wherever they are, shout out to Philly D. You'll never get another one. By the way, we're up 3. Yeah, but you just said You just said that you watched 3 of them. Did you not? I said I seen 2 of them. So I'm 1 behind. I'm 1 behind you. And then you want to go, oh, well, we got 3 more than that. Like, come on, man. Funny thing is, Veterans Stadium came down in 2004, and Dallas has smelled anything even longer. I know. Isn't it great? And Dallas is not, they got no chances here. They got no chances here. And what's funny is, if Christian Parker is good, he's going to be a head coach. He'll be gone after a year. They're screwed. Dallas is screwed. Then the salary cap came into play. Yeah, once the salary cap came in, that was it for Dallas. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen at all. But anyways, guys, I am going to get out of here and end this. I got some things to do on this Friday afternoon. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'll have a video out probably Sunday. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. We're kind of just doing every other day right now. And then we'll start ramping up as training camp comes. And once training camp comes, we'll be every day, 2 times a day. So look for that. But I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I want to thank you all for being with me today. And I will talk to you all later. With that said, hope you guys have a great, great day. Peace out. But we out.
Come on, guys.
2 minutes to go. You have plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off, it's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott! That's it! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You tried to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God!
That's crazy.
It's over! It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.